So before we get into the video, I just wanted to say happy 4th of July, everyone. I hope all of you had a wonderful day today. So happy 4th of July, and I just hope it was a good day for everyone out there. Secondly, we got a lot of news here. So, big thing, Tencent is now coming for everyone's waifus because now they are trying to get into anime and manga. It makes a lot of sense as to why why they've been so afraid and went to their government, because they were afraid of losing freedom of expression and afraid of things being altered or changed or even censored, because here comes Tencent coming for anime and manga now. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, Tencent has their sights locked on anime and manga. Ooh, oh, that's not good at all. That's terrible. Tencent believes investing in anime and manga will boost its global growth. China's video game and social media powerhouse is looking to fresh intellectual property from Japan to start in its next wave of games. You know, this makes complete sense why Japan went to their government now. Because Tencent, a terrible company, very shady, is coming for it. Well, you know what this means? Well, time for war. Because now they're going to go after it. This is not looking good. Tencent Holdings is looking to kick off the next stage of its growth with the help of anime and manga characters from Japan. Oh, I bet they are. Seeing how well anime's doing. Oh, yeah, of course. They're just over here like, let's get our grubby hands on it. Let's hope not. Tencent is already one of the largest companies in China. Its WeChat social messaging platform is one of the most frequently used apps in the country, and it's also the world's largest video game publisher. The company is now fixing its gaze on the talents of Japan's animation studios to jumpstart the next phase of its growth. Now, China has stricter policies in terms of censorship, so there's a lot more censorship that goes on over there, which is a bad thing, obviously. And of course, as you've seen, America has been censoring their movies for Chinese audiences. Well, you know, just imagine if they were to get their hands on anime. Oh, they would censor it to hell. I mean, it would be terrible if they did it. We all know it. It would be horrible. Tencent going after anime is a thing that Japan is afraid of. So it's not just the American market, where America already has been censoring things enough as it is, which is terrible, you know, but now they're also afraid of China. And this makes a lot more sense as to why Japan has gone to their government over this, because, you know, they don't want their freedom of expression taken away, and America's already got bad enough censorship, and they're already trying to jump into anime and manga. So, you know, if China were to do it, oh man, you know, it would be censored to the end of the earth. It would be horrible. So it's understandable why they're so afraid now. Late last month, Tencent acquired a 20% stake in prominent Japanese anime studio Marvelous Entertainment for about $65 million, making it the company's largest shareholder. Yeah, hence why Senran Kagura got ruined, along with Soini's censorship. This followed a move earlier this year when Tencent took an equality stake in Platinum Games. Though terms of the deal were not disclosed, the move to buy stakes in these content creators rather than buy them outright marks a new strategy by Tencent to establish a beachhead in one of Japan's most popular esports, giving it access to intellectual property to use in games in the coming years. Yep, coming for the waifus. That's exactly what they're doing right here. They're coming for them. And we already know the Love Hina manga creator Ken Akamatsu came out against this earlier in the week. You know, I talked about this in a previous video, talking about how he went to the Japanese government in fear of how they could lose freedom of expression if they allow companies like Tencent, or, you know, you have America, which is censoring things, to come in and try to change things, you know. This is what he stated. What measures are needed for Japanese manga need to survive in the world? I replied, first and foremost, freedom of expression compared to other countries. Japan's forte is its freedom of creativity. However, with foreign platforms becoming more and more dominant, I would like to avoid a situation where Japanese works are regulated by foreign standards. And if you know how Tencent works, oh, they're going to change things. Tencent, if they were to ever get a hold of anime and manga, oh, you know they'd censor things. And it's really bad. It's terrible, which this is why they're afraid. So it wasn't just America. Now that we're knowing about Tencent trying to jump in on anime and manga as well, you better believe that things will not be the same if they ever get a hold of it, which is why Japan does not want to sell to China, and for good reason. Definitely good reason. Japan's anime, comics, and games franchises are considered among the best in the world and have been extremely popular in China, making them desirable takeover targets for Tencent. Japanese creators have been unwilling to sell, however, for fear of losing control of their prized creations, because they will. Because, Tencent will ensure that if they ever get anime or manga, oh, you better believe it's going to get censored. You better believe they're going to sit over here and they're going to go, no fan service. No fan service is terrible. Doesn't fit our standards. And because of that, anime would then be dubbed down in comparison to what it is. That would be horrible. Nobody wants to see that happen. Nobody wants to see that happen. That would be awful. And this is why Japan is doing their best to make sure this doesn't happen. Tencent has been forced to resort to various licensing deals to gain access to Japan's popular manga and anime characters. And that's their way to slowly seep in and try to take control of everything. That's their shady tactics. That's what they do. Tencent is one of the world's most acquisitive companies, a growth strategy that has served the company well over the years. It owns a sizable stakes in a number of video game creators, including Epic Games, that's Fortnite, the creator of Fortnite, while also holding smaller stakes in Activision Blizzard and France's Ubisoft Entertainment. Yeah, and when they slowly try to get in there, that's their way of saying, hey, look, we're going to take over. We're going to slowly get in there. We're going to tell you what you can and can't do. It's pretty slimy. Also, talking about Tencent and Marvelous, them, if you recall, they now have 20% in Marvelous. And they've become the largest shareholder, which is not a good sign. This is what Niche Gamer had to say, and this is a pretty big statement here. Tencent's reason for the investment is probably to learn how to make console games from Japanese companies, one of the last frontiers for the Chinese tech companies' game business. The investment will help Marvelous ride through the period of global economic uncertainty and release more of its domestically popular titles to the Western market. Now you're probably thinking, well, the Western market, that doesn't sound too bad. Well, the problem is they're going to censor things. I mean, Sweeney's already been doing it with anime games, right? Since you're seeing Sweeney already, go through their double standard lifestyle, censor anime games, so you better believe Tencent, they're definitely going to do it as well. Tencent's awful. They're a terrible company, very shady, scummy tactics. And, a lot of people were very upset with the new Pokemon MOBA game because Tencent had their hands in that. That's why people are very upset, because that means that if Tencent gets more control when it comes to Pokemon, they'll be censoring and altering things as well. That's not good. That's terrible. And that makes me fear for the future of Pokemon if they get more invested into Tencent. I mean, that's a very scary thing, because that means they could lose freedom of control of their own franchise, because they'll have to censor things because Tencent's like, it's not good enough. Then the Japan Times News stated, Tencent targets Japanese anime and manga to jumpstart global growth. And, this isn't looking good. Tencent Holdings Ltd. spurred in years past by Japan's guard entertainment industry, it's rekindling its courtship of the country's fabled anime and manga houses. The Chinese social media giant has in recent months scooped up slices of two prominent local studios, the brains behind smash hit near Otama and Marvelous Incorporated. Those outlays are just the start of a spending spree designed to extend Tencent's foothold in a key creative hub while inhibiting Japan's expertise in console game making and hit franchise creation. Oh yeah, of course, because that's what they want. They want to get their foot in the door, because then at that moment, they can start making alterations. They can start making changes. This is what Japan is afraid of. This is exactly why they're going to their government over this. They're afraid of this. The Chinese firm is in negotiations with several other studios regarding potential investments, they said. So they can make more changes. So they can control the market. That's exactly what they want. They want to be able to change it all up so that they can have the dominance. That's exactly what they're doing. It's terrible. Tencent has long regarded Japanese entertainment esports as an area ripe for optimization. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Where better distribution and marketing strategies can generate vastly greater revenues, having cut its teeth on multi-billion-dollar acquisitions like Clash of Clans, Supercell, Fortnite, Epic Games Incorporated. The Chinese publishing powerhouse has been repeatedly rebuffed when trying to take over developers and studios in Japan. Well, good for Japan for fighting back. Good for Japan on that one. Its new approach is to spend on becoming a favored partner instead, buying board seats and priority access to new content, said the people, who asked for anonymity because the plans are not public. Ooh, and then Tencent gaming division declined to comment. I wonder why. I wonder why. But Japanese creators loath to concede control of their prized assets, have preferred ad hoc licensing deals leading to bidding wars between publishers such as Tencent and TikTok. Who have been competing Naruto games in China. Well, yeah, of course they don't want to get rid of, their prize assets. If Japan did that, then yeah, they would have no freedom. They wouldn't have the freedom of expression that they want so much, that they have had for so long. Anime and manga is one of the few forms of entertainment that's still sacred at this point, that hasn't been touched by Puritans. So, if Tencent gets a hold of it, oh yeah, then they're going to completely change everything. The game will be changed and freedom of expression will be gone. It will be completely gone. So it makes sense why they're trying to prevent this from happening. They're trying to prevent Tencent from taking over. Japanese ACGs are world class, while their Chinese counterparts are years behind. Tencent's vision is to help set up Marvel Universe-like multimedia franchises with a focus on turning celebrated anime and manga comic book heroes and storylines into video games, squeezing the most out of each bit of intellectual properties. The Japanese creative scene is rich with potential targets, said Hideki Yasuda of Ace Research Institute. Popular IPs such as Neon Genesis Evangelion and Doraemon are recognized in China, but haven't yet transferred into major gaming hits in that country. Oh yeah, and then of course at that point, if Tencent were to take over, say they were to get some holdings, right? If they were to in Japan, for example, which is why Japan is afraid of what's going on here, because you look at Hollywood, you look at Netflix and how they're already trying to grab assets like Cowboy Bebop, for example, then trying to censor it. Then you look at this terrible company like Tencent. Oh yeah, if they get control, they can tell Japan, oh hey, this is how you're going to make it and this is how you're not going to make it. This is how you're going to be able to do things and how you won't be able to do things. That's not good, and this is why Japan is terrified right now. This is why they are afraid of losing freedom of control, because they know that if, for example, you were to have something like Hollywood, or if you were to have a company like Tencent jump in on it, then yeah, they're going to try to take control if they can get in there. That's what they're afraid of. That's why they're trying to keep their creative control. This is why Japan is trying to make sure that none of their properties can be censored or changed, because they are afraid that companies like Tencent, as well as, Hollywood, America, with all the censorship problems it's been going through, this is what they're afraid of, and this is what they don't want to have happen, so that they can still have the freedom to express what they want to do, how they can just do everything the way they want to without having being told that they can or can't do something. So this makes perfect sense as to why they've gone to their government about these issues, because they're just afraid of losing control, which makes sense. They should be able to tell the stories they want to tell. They should be able to, animate, draw things the way they want to without having to be told. But if these corporations were to come in and get involved, oh yeah, that's going to completely change. And that's why they're afraid of that, because they don't want to lose what they already have. And anime's been wonderful the way it is. Anime is something that's for everybody. There's something out there for everybody, right? And that's why it's so popular. That's why people love anime so much, because there's so many different genres you can go through. But if you have big corporations jump in, Hollywood or Tencent jump in here, then yeah, of course, they're going to try to take away the freedom of control. And that's the fear that Japan has. And, it makes perfect sense. That's why Japan is trying to fight this, so that they don't lose control of what they already have. And they shouldn't lose control, and that's why it's very terrible to see Tencent trying to set its sights on anime and manga, because they're going to ruin it if they get a hold of it. And that's just not a good thing, because anime is excellent the way it is. But anyways, I'll be back again on Tuesday. Let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you are still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you are still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.